Oh, we're still talking about Micah?
But somebody DMs me and says, hey, EVS is on that show, and he's pissed at you. He's talking a load of shit about you. I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm like, well, that's interesting. Because the last I talked to Ethan, we did have a bit of a yelling match. In regards to a couple of things that really aren't worth mentioning, because whatever.
Micah, that infamous Oz stream, number 53, where a lot of this all started and began, do you regret, saying things?
Why did anyone stand up for this bitch, dude?
I don't even remember that episode.
Oh, here's an interesting thing from Micah Curtis. Maybe that's why I just think Ethan's a dork. I had more success when I wasn't on his show. Ethan,
I had more success when Micah wasn't on my show too, so that makes two of us. Holy fuck. Micah Curtis is an absolute charisma vacuum, a big blowhard, big dummy who can't shut his mouth, has to talk shit, has to say stuff, nobody cares. His comic books are horrible. He's an asshole. And he was always the first one to come into the streams. He was in the private room in the background. So when I put the link into the guest room, Micah Curtis was always the first one there with his big balloon head. Nothing important to say, and whenever he had anything to say, it was about himself.
No, well, personally, I'd just like to say...
You're fucking ripping him apart right now.
I'm just being honest. Everybody knows it. Everybody knows this about Micah Curtis. Everybody knows it about him. So
personally,
yes.
no one should be kicked out of ComicsGate except for Micah Curtis. You grab him and throw him the fuck out.
Hey, look who else is in your chat right now. JDA. JDA's in your chat right now.
JDA's been cool. No. JDA's been cool. Look, all you have to do is behave yourself. Yeah, all you have to do is behave yourself. That's all you have to do. All you have to do is not be a fucking retard that tries to cancel Razor Fist.
Hey, Ethan,
by walking away from
I get you're pissed off with me over things that I have no clue about.
I'm not pissed off at you. I'm
not. You sound like you are.
I'm not making fun of you. I'm not pissed off at you at all.
Well, I don't care if you make fun of me. I mean, you do that. You're gonna do that anyway.
Could I, if I could interject with just a quick question, Micah, that infamous Oz stream, number 53, where a lot of this all started and began, do you regret, saying things?
Why did anyone stand up for this bitch, dude?
I don't even remember that episode.
No. I'm saying I think that you're not funny, untalented, and really boring. And that's the thing. So I finally just kind of went, I can't take any more of Micah Curtis. I took all I need to take of Micah Curtis, and I inflicted Micah Curtis on my audience for far too long. Can't take any more. I have my It's no offense.
Okay.
It's no offense. I want you to succeed. I'm not going to sit there and say people shouldn't back your books or anything like that. It's just, you are an acquired taste, lard, and it's not for me. It's not for my audience. It's not for me. I want you to please go do something on your own channel with Liam, whatever it is that you guys are doing. Go do it. But I mean, it can't be around me.
An acquired taste.
The reason why I erupted at Micah was because we were on the show on the Oz stream, and Micah super chatted Oz, and he said, I guess I just think EVS is a dork. He used the word dork because my books fund better without him than they did with him. So I don't need EVS.
That's not accurate.
And I said, oh, is that right? And I said, well, then why are you always on my show? Always on my live streams? Always the first one in there. And then, I blew up at you and I told you what I really thought of you, which wasn't nice. But I thought that was extremely ungracious of you to call me a dork and say, he never did nothing for me. And now we see, in 3D, not even in 3D, in 4D, DA Talks, what is it when it's crystal clear? What is the kind of...
High definition.
4K? Yeah.
4K? We see it's pretty clear in 4K, what I did for you.
I am seriously sorry about that. I did not realize that you took it the way that you took it at all. No, I actually
This is the thing. I didn't take it any other way except for the way that you intended for it to be taken.
I did not, though. I never meant
I'm gonna yell at you again, Micah.
Well, go ahead.
I'm in the red.
Be wrong,
you got me right in the red now. I'm going to yell at you again. Deal with the fact that I took it exactly the way you meant it. You meant it to say that as it turns out, Ethan did not help me at all. I did it all by myself, and Ethan is a dork, which is true. That part's true. The rest of it is not true.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I didn't mean to give the impression that I don't appreciate what you did for me.
Well, it wasn't the impression. I wasn't left with a faulty impression. I didn't just make an assumption. You flat out said it while insulting me on Oz's stream.
And the best I can do, man, is just say I'm sorry for saying that then. Because you did do a lot for me. You did a lot for me during those days. And I am incredibly appreciative of that.
Well,
because you didn't have to, you know.
You're so welcome. Everyone is so welcome. Everyone is so welcome. All the people are welcome who take from me and then just immediately, the minute they can, spit right in my face. All of those people are very welcome, and they're welcome to find out what happens to them after they do that, which is what you're finding out right now.
Which, by the way, he doesn't owe me anything. And ultimately, whenever it comes to internet promotion, nobody owes you anything.
Except apparently Ethan owed Micah.
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously he does. Also, Spirit Scar. I did contribute that stream. Vikki just didn't edit it in.
Yeah, I ran out of time. I spent all this time chopping up Micah Curtis. Oh my God. If you guys have no idea how painful it is to edit Micah Curtis clips.
Yeah, having to listen to Micah.
And this one originally was somewhere around like 15 minutes long, and I just had to start cutting stuff out. And unfortunately, Dean ended up on the cutting room floor.
I mean, you could have included, like, when I was like, oh, have we gotten to Micah's criticisms of Cyberfrog yet? It's a small line.
Well, yeah, but it also went into like this whole another phase of conversation that I was trying to keep it sort of on some sort of track.
Yeah, I mean, the point is, I guess, Vikki, do better next time.
So how this all started, hi chat, is Micah did a video about, is he still ComicsGate? Because apparently he is still ComicsGate. And yeah, I guess. And so it was being EFAP'd on Well Read Users show. They did a special non-review stream trying to bring Risey and Berserk Guts back together.
It was like a Berserk Guts appreciation stream or something.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. A lot of upset feelings came out of that stream, by the way, guys.
Like, yeah, but I mean, do you appreciate Berserk Guts?
No, but I don't think the upset feelings came from Berserk Guts.
Yeah, no. So it actually caused a bit of problem because Risey and Berserk Guts were both upset that they'd gotten bumped from the stream because they wouldn't shut up. They just, Risey kept yelling. They were both drunk off their butts. Risey kept yelling over everybody, and Well Read tried muting him, so Risey unmuted himself, and then Berserk Guts wouldn't shut up, so they both got bumped to the back so Micah and Ethan could talk.
It's just proper stream etiquette, like
just don't talk over people.
Yeah, or if you're eating, mute your mic.
Yeah, don't crumble your potato chip bags right next to your microphone.
Is Spirit Scar right? Do you mean crazily?
No, I do not.
Well, then why would he ask that?
Because that's what he calls him.
Oh. Why would he call him that?
Because Risey's crazy.
No, I think that has to do with Risey crying.
No, he was being called that before the crying. He was called that because he's crazy.
I'm pretty sure it's a pun off of crying.
Well, now it works both ways. That's the beauty of it.
I guess Spirit Scar, do you mean that because Risey was crying? We just got to get some confirmation. But yeah, it was.
I think you should highlight Saggy's comment. The bottom one. Yes, he is.
No, I'm not. I'm not food, guys. I'm a human being. I don't appreciate being demeaned or yeah. Anyways, now I feel awkward. We're just gonna turn off the camera.
Feel awkward, Dean.
Yeah. So, anyways, it was pretty weird. It was fun. I had fun instigating. Unfortunately, you guys don't get to listen to it, but we do have a really good show tonight. A lot of content.
Strangely enough, we might make it past that 45-minute mark.
Oh, I think we're gonna go over an hour for once.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah. There was some fan comic thing. Yeah.
Before we get into that, on which stream was it? Was it Well Read stream? Last night, Dean promised a Doug TenNapel video.
Video on Doug TenNapel.
That was supposed to be posted up to his channel this morning.
This morning.
Time crunch. Kind of got in the way, and so we're gonna actually show it tonight.
Yeah, we're gonna premiere it at the close to the end of this video or this stream, and then it'll go up on my channel tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So let people know while you're here and have them come on over.
Yeah, and before we get any further in the stream, please like the stream and tweet it out, share it, send it to your mom, and then send her my number.
Gross, Dean.
See, the Bad Channel has a right idea. He says, "What up, gents? The motion comic movie sounds sick. So amazing that Ray and Harry are involved. Congrats on the project." I mean, this is, like I was saying before, I mean, the idea behind this was basically, how can we find a way to bring the storyboards to life and kind of give that substance, give that story a heartbeat and really bring it to life. And that's what we've done here. And it started out one way, and now it's gotten even bigger, and it's continuing to grow, and I'm really excited for it. We have some amazing artwork that we've been showing off. I mean, here's the flash right here that Matt posted on Instagram. That's awesome. That's pretty freaking awesome. One of the main objectives of this, obviously, is to help raise money for AFSP because it's such a great cause, and it's a cause that is very close to me and because of what I've been through in my life. And at the same time, we want to help just raise awareness for the Restore the Snyderverse movement.
There's been a bit of controversy around that, mostly over what people are saying is just tracing other artists like Jim Lee and
Jason Fabuk or Fabuk. I don't know how you pronounce his name.
I'm not too sure. I'm not. I'll tell you this. I don't really know much about the artists. To be fair, I don't.
Yeah, the biggest one is Jim Lee. That's the one that people are getting upset about.
Yeah, that is the one people are getting a little bit ticked off at. Now, I did talk about this the other day on a stream, and I think I made a standalone video about it. Now, this project is being called the Dreamscapes of Justice League, a motion comic, but even some copyright people have said don't call it that. Don't call it that. Call it like the Dreamscapes of Zack Snyder. Don't put Justice League there. Ladies and gentlemen, I do not take pleasure in what I'm about to tell you. I do not take pleasure in what this stream is going to be talking about because I actually really wanted to see what was going to happen here. But now we know that the Dreamscapes of Justice League, the motion comic depicting the events, or at least variations of the events of Justice League 2 and 3, is no more. It has been officially canceled as of an hour ago, and we're going to be talking about that right now.
Okay, so there's something in the chat I got to address. Luster Dog said, "Who is the yapping Mexican?" That's Saggy in the chat, and she's not Mexican, Luster. Yeah.
Oh, goodness gracious. So, Justice League. These Snyderverse people are some of the kookiest cats. Like,
Yeah.
seriously.
It's just a movie.
It's exactly. It's just 2 movies you're never gonna get. Accept it. So what they did was there were some storyboards that were shown for Justice League 2 and 3, which are never gonna be made by Zack Snyder. Okay. You
But
can
maybe if we just try enough.
It might happen. It happened for the first one. We got anyway.
Yeah, we need to try harder, guys.
They do need to try harder. So they were going to release this motion comic based on the storyboards of all things, even though the storyboards apparently had been tossed and they weren't going to be 2 and 3 anyhow. And then the tracing scandal started.
Yeah,
And
it turns out the artist was tracing.
Yeah, shock.
Yeah.
And so that, of course, leads to it being canceled. Now, how we get to the cancellation is kind of crazy.
Well, a lot of upset people, a lot of people being very mad, rightfully so, I would say.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. I mean, you've got you've got obviously traced art, which is just bad. People don't trace art and then try to
unless you need to and you're on a time crunch.
Unless you're narwhal. So the guy Martinez is his name. I'm sorry, Matthew Miranda. He had a YouTube channel which is gone now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And he had other social media which is gone now. He did a podcast called the Lightcast podcast, right? Lightcast?
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, something
Lightcast.
stupid. Yeah. Lightcast
Yeah.
or some shit.
Lightcast. They always come up with like just the
Yeah, it's not cool like D&V investigations, fucking idiots.
Hell no. Hell no.
But they so he blames threats from people that are mad for no good reason, which is why he quit the podcast. Well, that's at least what he's saying.
Yeah. Even after he left, there was misinformation, toxic engagement, continuous harassment.
From the community, and it has nothing to do with the fact that he was tracing, because
Yeah, it has nothing to do with the the product that they were getting. But what's hidden inside his farewell address is this sentence. Oh, actually, it's 2. However, the project fell short due to the studio response to end the project due to property rights and policies of the studio. To respect the studio and individuals involved, the project was abandoned. Now, I get it was from charity. They thought they could get away with it because they weren't going to be making any money off of it. But shit don't work that way.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, they were taking someone else's work. They were literally stealing the storyboards to use for this motion comic. Right. That's just intellectual property theft.
I'm gonna be honest, guys. I didn't have the time to look into this one. This one's all Vikki. But so did DC like sign off on this?
Apparently not. If the studio's response, if the studio didn't really want them to, it doesn't sound like the studio really signed off on it. Now I don't know if they said it did. If the studio was like, yeah, whatever, and then they're like, then they take a look at it eventually, and they're like, no.
Yeah, they're like, this is just our work.
Yeah.
You guys just stole our art.
I mean, you could do a fan comic, but you can't.
You can't really sell a fan comic, right?
You can't sell a fan comic. Not technically. And you certainly shouldn't be taking their work in order to do it.
Yeah.
And this is.
But what about stealing Solo?
What about? Yeah, I'm not even gonna talk about that piece of crap. I mean,
what?
You know, they didn't steal anybody's concept per se. They just stole Harrison Ford's persona.
And also, it was shit.
And it was shit. Yeah. But people back the next one when they put it back up over 50K. So there's no accounting for brain cells.
Mm-hmm.
The people that still hadn't gotten their fucking t-shirt from the first campaign back to the second. What kind of dumbass shit is that?
That's not that outrageous in comparison to a lot of other things that we've seen throughout.
So
at least just the last year.
Yeah, the last paragraph of his farewell address, I'll go ahead and read it to you. My decision to end Lightcast was not because of the motion comic or the false accusations and rumors. It was traced. Moreover, it was due to the increased amount of harassment and continuous attacks. After self-reflection of what the show had provided for me in my personal life, super chats, I came to the conclusion that the show did not outweigh the important things in my life, such as family, time, and my own mental health. This is running away to his home hug box. This community has preached about #UsUnited and coming together as one, but when a group of their own fans wanted to participate in something positive, they were brought down by their own. After this experience, I would like to not be part of any Snyderverse-related topics or discussions, and please respect my privacy and personal life.
Please no bully.
No bully. I appreciate the support from the countless listeners over the years and your continuous support. I will always respect the time and dedication you gave to sit down or commute to when sitting down or commuting to work while listening or watching the show. No. Okay. Nice. Thank you, everybody, for joining me and supporting me. And now that I've fucked this shit up beyond all recognition, I'm going to run away and please leave me alone.
Yeah, please no bully.
No bully.
Yeah. Well, I went ahead and because Saggy Melons knows a little more about this topic, I gave her the link. We'll see if she joins. But maybe we should move on to the next topic.
We could do that.
We could do that. So this next one is kind of a continuation on from the Micah EVS clip that we showed.
One thing that I will freely admit that I regret is helping somebody leave the movement. I actually did help somebody on their way out, and I shouldn't have. I should have let him burn, honestly.
Watching one of your live streams, Micah, and we're just kind of wondering, like, what happened between you and Liam? It seemed like you guys were really good friends.
To be honest with you, I feel like if I gave a bunch of details about it, it would just...
You'd still be a little bitch.
It'd be pointless.
You feel better.
Like
I'm perfectly fine as is, to be honest. We had a pretty... I'll just say this. We had a pretty... Because, again, I don't want to go super in detail on it. Basically, we had a massive disagreement on something. And... not really. Again, I'm not going to go into detail. But it was basically something that made me realize that some of the things that he was doing behind the scenes were just...
Like what?
I've been starting, but let's talk real for a minute. So this is to address the recent thing that came up with Micah. We'd agreed not to talk about it, so I was happy leaving it not talked about. People might be coming in here expecting this huge drama stream, but I just want to take a moment where I separate the performer and the goofball and the real me, you know, the real Liam, and actually explain to you guys the truth.
So,
is Liam burning bridges? Burning bridges with people?
Well, that's the thing. I don't really think the bridge is burned with him. I just think that his mental space right now, he's in a weird spot as a person. Not that he was ever a normal human being. So basically I said, you know, by going out and saying all those things about Ethan that you did, you know, I understand why you said them because you were pissed, but he's going to get pissed off at you, and he's going to make fun of you all the time now, which is going to drive you insane.
And did that happen?
Well, yeah, you make fun of him all the time, which is...
I mean,
which, by the way, I'm not saying
it's mostly Mike that I make fun of. It's not so much Liam. Nobody knows who Liam is. So, you know, when I'm on my live streams with, you know, 1,600 people, 3 of them know who Liam is, and one of them is Mr. Dongs.
For the longest time, I've received the sound advice that I don't need to address things when they're said, and I need to pick and choose what I address. There's probably some truth to it. And this is probably another instance of me making a bad choice. But well, that's Liam, isn't it?
I need space from him. He needs space from me. So, which is very weird to say because you'd think we were dating, by the way I phrased that. I just caught off.
I didn't think that. Why are you saying that?
Thank you for giggling. You gave me the heads up like, Mikey, you're saying something dumb.
Liam.
Sounds incredibly gay.
Yeah, astronomically gay. So it's just one of those things where at some point he and I will start hanging out again. I think
don't
he's
see
just
how. I don't know why he would. You know, that's the whole thing about it. First of all, you're implying that he is potentially mentally deranged and up to no good.
Oh,
like,
no.
It's possible that Liam is doing things
not
in
my
that
intention.
shed.
That is not my intention whatsoever.
What is he doing in that shed? What is he up to?
I don't know. I haven't talked to him since he built it.
It must have been something really bad because you abandoned him while you realized he was mentally ill and definitely in need of friendship. And what if you guys were both together right now, promoting each other's Indiegogo campaigns? You're not. You guys split up. I mean, you left him right when he needed you most. You probably could have used his bump as well. 2 of you guys jerking each other off. And you probably would have helped each other's campaigns. But you left Liam.
So Micah was my mate at a time when it was really popular to shit on me, right? To be against me. And Micah stuck with me, you know, and I stuck with Micah, and I rewarded loyalty with loyalty. And I had formed a small group of creators, probably about, I don't know, I think like 11 or 12 people that I knew weren't going to just throw me under the bus or screw me around. I called it the last lifeboat, right? And it was just meant to be a green room for me dropping in my links and us coming up with things that we could do for marketing ideas. That was always sort of my plan. It was sort of where I put my most trusted friends and sort of my inner circle, you know? I thought, all right, if I'm not welcome sort of in the big circle, I'll just go over here and make my own little circle with people I do trust. And quickly what happened was that group over the course of probably about a year turned from a bunch of friends into people telling me not to do stupid shit. Your best chance of making money was to create entertaining content for people. That's just my own personal opinion, my own personal
things that you know, one of the horrible missteps that Micah took was to kind of stand by Liam as Liam was saying some of the dumbest shit and making some of the worst decisions ever, and then to say things like, "Let me be your mouthpiece, Liam." I mean, if you're at a point where you're going to let Micah Curtis speak for you, you know, I hope you're in a coma. I don't know what other excuse you would have to allow that to happen.
But so I would say things like, "Well, guys, I have an idea. So when I launch Wonder Island, because everyone keeps calling me the savior of comics and giving me shit about it, should I dress like Jesus and tie myself to a tree for 3 days, right? Like, I'll do a live stream 3 days straight where I'm like tied to a tree to save comics, it'll be great. You know, like we'll set up the thing. I'll throw up some mosquito net so I don't have to worry about that at night. It's not cold enough here in Australia that it could do me any harm, and it'll be a 3-day live stream where, you know, Liam dies for the sins of the comic book industry so it can be reborn. It'd be funny, right? Like, no, Liam, no, you're retarded. And I was like, well, what are we supposed to do? Like, everyone's just sitting around playing video games or talking about the same old tired shit, and no one cares. Like, we've got to make something fun and exciting and interesting for the audience. It can't just be us going on and on about our books.
Well, it is very sad, everything that has happened, and I hope at least the viewers watching at home have gotten some closure on this tragic saga, and the healing can begin.
Yeah, so this was another one where Vikki cut me out. Thanks, Vikki. Yeah. I had guilted Micah, not guilted. I was being a good person and telling him that maybe he should call Liam after the stream.
And I think as I saw I sat down and I watched all of that Liam live stream, the one that I cut for this video, and I hope with all of my heart that Micah called some mental health professionals to go stop in and check on Liam. I want to do a 3-day live stream of me being crucified on a tree to sell my children's book.
Yeah, well, like, he's like, we need to create interesting content. I'm sorry, but that shit would get old after like about 10 minutes. It'd be fun to like check in every 10 hours or so, see Liam like getting bit by bugs, probably squirming and shit, and then tune out.
The idea is so mentally ill. And I don't mean just crazy. I mean fucking
retarded.
Put you in a straitjacket, shoot you full of Thorazine, and make sure you're on an inpatient ward for at least a month mentally ill. Like, no offense, Liam, but you really need to consider getting some help.
Yeah, well, like, I mean, I don't know. I think this is partly Mika's fault for not being there for Liam to tell him these things.
Quite possibly. But that group, it explains why Lidl would show up and hard wrangle Micah. It also kind of explains where Liam? Liam. It explains where Lidl has been, because she was going to be coloring Wonder Island. What Liam has been saying is that she's busy with her job because of COVID.
She's busy not dealing with Liam's shit anymore, is what it sounds like.
Yeah, it sounds like that was crazy enough to make them both walk away.
Yeah.
And the stream he did today makes it sound like the only one crazy enough to stay was Vinny. But when he's talking about you need to create exciting content, all I could flash back on was all of those Bloodsport streams that he and Oz did.
It was
shouting at
entertaining.
Liam shouting at everybody shouting at everybody else.
It was good.
Some of it was fun content. Yeah. I wish we'd been around then to clip the fuck out of that. But, I mean, that's pretty much what he was using to sell his book. So, and I also started thinking about all the other things that he said. Well, I didn't, I wasn't doing it to actually hurt anybody, blah, blah, blah. So where did he draw the line, right? Because we all know half of the really nasty shit that he was accusing people of, like Nasser, never happened. So was that just this, the creating exciting content? Or was that part of his obvious mental illness? I don't know. I have no idea.
All I know is, Micah, if you're listening, you really need to go be there for Liam. Make sure to call him. Call him after you share this stream. So this next one, it's a 16-minute video. We're just gonna play it. It's exposing Doug TenNapel's lies as well as his gay ops. So let's do it. Everyone, it's the fake trick cuck, the flaming, the spectacular, the ashamed one, the feebled fat dud, your host, the cuck. Well, thanks for that. But seriously, if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. Also, go check out D&V Investigations, where Vikkiverse and myself do all of our joint content, like the Dumping Ground streams, which you can find live every Monday night at 10:30 p.m. Eastern, 7:30 Pacific. You listen to me shill this channel, so please make sure to go subscribe on this channel. Now, let's get into it. Today we're talking about Doug TenNapel. We've got a lot of interesting finds, but we're gonna save the best stuff for last. You won't want to miss these never-before-seen DMs as well as emails of Doug's, which prove he tried gay-opping ComicsGate. But what was the gay-op? Watch till the end to find out. Recently, there's been a lot of talk about Doug TenNapel's multiple YouTube accounts getting nuked off the platform. Essentially, despite practically everyone warning Doug that YouTube would ban his account for posting content on the election votes, Doug decided he'd do it anyways. To nobody's shock, his account was deleted from YouTube's platform. I want to state that even though Doug's content is probably the same kind of content Al Gore's supporters would have made after his run against Bush for presidential office, and even though Doug's content was blatantly dishonest and was clearly done to grift off the hopes of disappointed Trump voters, I don't think he should have been ganked off of YouTube. Doug TenNapel claims that someone is reporting his channels. He tweeted out a statement on June 25th where he said that even though YouTube may be striking channels talking about the election audit, that they can't find the videos if they aren't reported first. He goes on to say that he's being hunted by an audience. Luckily, CG's very own Hamburglar impersonator is on the case. His video suggests that all signs lead to Ethan Van Sciver. What are the signs? Well, there's absolutely no evidence to support this idea, and it's really just a hunch from this guy who sounds like he still gets served dino chicken nuggies and chocolate milk from mommy for dinner. Not to get too off track, but what kind of moron actually listens to this guy? He can't even figure out how to properly screen record. He has to pull out his phone to take a video of his monitor. The reality of the situation is, it's very likely that no one reported Doug's channel. It took me all of a single minute to look into YouTube's content removal practices. Almost all videos deleted by YouTube are done by an automated flagging system. This means that the video has been red flagged by YouTube's AI without first being reported by anybody. How does the AI know what to flag? Well, it's more than likely done by searching for keywords in somebody's YouTube video. For those of you that don't know, YouTube has an AI that writes transcripts for videos. When you post a video on your channel, you can choose to have the transcript available for your audience. So knowing that YouTube is transcribing videos and knowing that almost all removal of content is done by AI without being reported, more than likely, the AI is programmed to look for buzzwords in the transcript. So then why was his original channel deleted? And not just the videos? Like I previously stated, everybody warned Doug that covering the election votes would get him kicked off of YouTube. YouTube hasn't been discreet in the removal of channels that are using QAnon talking points? What about the other channels Doug has attempted to evade his ban with? He literally put Doug TenNapel in the names of each YouTube channel, which was the name of his original banned channel. Furthermore, Doug's inability to understand the idea that YouTube can automate flagging is a good indicator that his technological comprehension is subpar. Or is it? Before April 5th, Doug's stated belief regarding his channels being taken down was much more aligned with reality. Let's take a listen to this clip from Doug's interview with Anti-ComicsGate figure Preston Poulter.
Both of these channels, I believe, were at first the victim of just coming across wrong to the algorithm, and the algorithm flags certain videos. Then it goes to a human review, and the humans over at YouTube can decide what to do. Thing is, YouTube in general can't monitor everyone's channel at all. Right. They can't hand out that many strikes. There's just millions and millions too much content. Mm-hmm. But once you show up on their radar, it's like the Greek gods. You never want to be too good or too bad to show up to a god, because then they come and meddle in your affairs and you're in trouble.
Now, is it over? Because you only described 2 chikes and then a third. So
well, on the email I got for the third was, you have so many multiple strikes, we're removing your channel.
So not only was Doug aware that YouTube automates reporting, he flat out states that YouTube's algorithm is what's striking down his channels. Why is Doug now purposefully trying to mislead people by claiming that someone watching his content has to be reporting it? And why is he letting poor stupid Comic Book Hut make a fool out of himself by letting him roleplay as a detective when Doug knows and has stated what actually happened to his channel? If that isn't bad enough, it would appear that Doug now wants to sue YouTube. He wants to get their 230 protection taken away from them. But where did Doug get this terrible idea?
250 grand.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But it was, I would guess it's about $1 million struck from my future.
Right.
That I was entitled to. Right. That was mine.
When we're talking about that kind of money, it seems like you should at least throw a few $1,000s to an attorney to write a harshly worded letter.
I don't do lawsuits, period. Especially not against YouTube. Are you kidding?
I think look, you got to go to the mattresses on some things.
So what is the 230 protection that YouTube has? It's just an easy way to say Section 230 of the Communications Decency Act of 1996. Section 230 states, quote, "No provider or user of an interactive computer service shall be treated as the publisher or speaker of any information provided by another information content provider." Essentially, this protects social media sites and other companies, such as cellular providers, from being held legally liable for statements made by users of the company's service/platform. If Facebook, YouTube, or any other big social media platform were to get their 230 protection pulled, the legal risk of staying live for public use would be astronomically high, and just wouldn't be worth it. So Doug now wants to take away YouTube for everyone else for reasons that he is knowingly lying to his audience about. Today, he says he's being targeted by an audience, but his original statement about YouTube's algorithm being behind his channels getting deleted is supported by YouTube's own data about content removal. In short, Doug is willing to lie because at the end of the day, he knows people aren't going to fact check him. But luckily, that's why I'm here. He relies on people following the gut feelings of a guy who can't figure out how to fucking screen record. Let that sink in. Has Doug always been this dishonest? I have no clue. My research doesn't go back that far. But I can tell you that as long as he's been around ComicsGate, he has been. Here we have an email sent to Doug from a young novelist and ComicsGate writer, Nasser Rabadi. The email dates back to July 28th, of 2019. In the email, Nasser asked Doug to pass an apology along to that umbrella guy, who is commonly referred to as Tug. We've actually done quite a few videos about Tug, and there's links to all of them in the description if you're interested. I don't want to get too off track explaining why Nasser and that umbrella guy have beef, but Nasser had done a private stream where he brought up a miscarriage Tug's wife had. Tug had talked about it previously on a live stream, but went on to claim Nasser mentioning it was somehow a violation of Tug's privacy. Which is weird, because as I said, he had talked about it on a live stream to his rather sizable audience. Unsurprisingly, Nasser doesn't like Tug and doesn't believe that he has anything to be sorry for. So then, why did Nasser email this to Doug? It's a simple answer, but the steps are complicated, so please bear with me. Just under a month after Doug received that email, he joined a live stream on Nick Rekieta's channel, Rekieta Law. EVS was being interviewed that night, and Nick brought Doug on so the two guests could duke it out for viewers' enjoyment. I mean, so the two of them could work through their issues and make up. The two went at each other for a while, but EVS dropped what should have been a bigger bombshell. He asked Doug if he's running some sort of gay op to steal ComicsGate creators from ComicsGate. Doug sort of weasels his way through the accusation before saying that there was no gay op and that he had a conversation with Tug, but there wasn't a plan.
Doug, are you reaching out to comic book professionals and trying to mobilize them against me and some kind of weird gay ops
you know what, I heard about that, and I believe that was Tug, that I was in a private talk with Tug, and Tug he was the little bird in your ear. Someone said a little bird in your ear. Tug, who I have been talking to on PM, said something about he was out of CG, and I go, I would never go against Ethan unless I had enough subs to speak my mind, because I have 12,000 subs. So as soon as I say anything,
what do you mean go against me? You're going against me now. What are you talking about?
Because Nick has 70,000 subs. So if I can get a big enough platform, I'll talk about it. I really, Ethan, like I said at the beginning of the show, I don't want to turn this into another month of all your guys going after me and my guys going after you. I talked to like Tug once saying, I wouldn't do it unless there was a panel of ex-CGers and we did something. And then suddenly Malin's doing like Doug's doing the Legion of Doom. And you said a little bird told me Doug was coming out and saw me. It ended with that talk with Tug. And because Doug passes personal information to you that are between us to you, you went and tweeted it to everybody. I don't have a plan. There is no show. Tell me when a show shows up, Ethan, and I'll come and give you a generous back massage.
But what do we have here? It's a leaked screenshot of Doug DMing that umbrella guy afterwards. Doug said in the DM that his plan to put together a quote-unquote fight back against EVS never went anywhere, so EVS has nothing to worry about. But didn't he say on Rekieta's stream, when confronted about the gay op, that there wasn't ever a plan to begin with? Well, yeah, Doug had no issue lying to thousands of viewers to avoid looking bad for the actions that he admits to doing in private. The op appears to be less of a max exodus of CG and more like an attempt to co-opt the movement. What does any of this have to do with that weird apology Nasser sent to Doug for that umbrella guy? Well, according to Nasser, Doug had pressured him into emailing the apology for Tug, and that Doug even helped Nasser write it out. This was all part of Doug's attempt to co-opt ComicsGate. Nasser stated that the idea was that once the apology was given to Tug, the three of them, and Yellow Flash, could start streaming on Doug's channel together, and this would just be the start. More ComicsGate creators would soon follow suit. Alone, the idea seems crazy. But when you factor in the screenshot of Doug's leaked DMs admitting to trying to gay up people against EVS, it makes sense. We could sit here all day and speculate reasons as to why Doug conducts himself in such a dishonest manner. However, speculating isn't really the point of these videos. We find truths based off of evidence. It doesn't really matter why Doug is dishonest. What matters is he is dishonest. Before we end the video, I just want to say that I never liked doing these videos on people that I thought were good people. Doug was an early supporter of my channel. I genuinely felt like Doug was a good guy. It's pretty clear to me that Doug only liked my channel because at the time I was going after Tug. This isn't behavior that's uncommon for Doug either. The moment Liam Gray and EVS weren't cool, Doug was quick to state that people need to leave Liam alone. When War Campaign did a stream about the death of ComicsGate, Doug came on to laugh with War Campaign and celebrate with them.
My people.
What I'm trying to get at is, this is the internet. Be careful who you trust. There's more people who want to use you than there are people who actually care about you. That being said, when you find genuine people, make sure to treat them right. Thank you all for watching, and I look forward to seeing you all in the next video.
Mr. Dong says, Doug TenNapel knew Tug and Nasser were the linchpins of the ComicsGate movement and sketch. Don't forget about sketch therapy.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, I can't imagine how Nasser must have felt being pretty much told he was going to have to apologize to Tug.
Yeah.
Doug
Tug,
and
the guy that like went around and made sure people like sort of disavowed him by spreading this lie that Nasser had spread this thing that was super secret, even though like Tug talked about it. They tweeted about it. Like
yeah, and it was even worse. He and Yellow Flash ripped in Yellow Flash especially ripped into Nasser for mocking Ashley's miscarriage. And nothing honestly could be further from the truth. Literally all Nasser did was, and not like he does on stream on his regular stream, because this was a serious message just to certain people. It was a video, it was like a live stream, just private to just a few people. And he literally just read Tug's DM, right? In a normal tone of voice, nothing. There might be people in the chat who actually have no idea what's going on. So Yellow Flash went after him, Tug went after him, and years. I mean, like if you were to ask Yellow Flash about Nasser, he would still tell you that Nasser mocked Tug and Ashley's miscarriage and made it public when it was secret, when it never was. They had both tweeted about it. Like you said, he had mentioned it on stream. And it really kind of helps explain what happened when Nasser decided to go back to CG, right? That I'm going to block you. I'm not going to have any, calling him up and leaving him voicemails about how he's going to be blocked.
Yeah, so yeah, to expand on the video, Doug lies just constantly. He had stated that he only blocked Nasser because he doesn't communicate with people in ComicsGate, and since Nasser decided he was ComicsGate again, he had.
But he's more than happy to go on a War Campaign.
Yeah, more than happy to go on War Campaign. At the same time, just like a week before, 2 weeks before, he was happily going on to Oz's channel. But he doesn't talk to people. He makes sure to block everybody that's ComicsGate. Meanwhile, Doug is also really good friends with Yellow Flash. Like it was just a blatant lie And like the reason for it is Nasser was cool with EVS. That's the only reason.
Yeah. He was on Doug TenNapel. It was on Well Read User last night. They did a review of Earthworm Jim 1 and 2. I kind of fell asleep a little bit during the review. I'm sorry, the monotone got me. You guys can go check it out, but it's endless. I mean, it was literally all night long.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, if you wanna watch a Lazamat sleeping on stream, go ahead. But he was on there, and it was some of the strangest, most contradictory stuff coming out of his mouth about ComicsGate and he was misleading. Maybe he doesn't quite remember, but he definitely misled the audience about why he had a problem with you. One, by saying he didn't.
Yeah, which he did, and
Which he did.
it was on Mecca's live stream. Mecca's live stream. To those of you that don't know, Mecca did a live stream once where he cried and coped over me calling him it was over my our exposed stream of him. There was also, I think, a cry stream over when I called him a bigot. It's so hard with Mecca because he copes a lot. So
a lot.
Way too much.
But Doug is so angry with Ethan. And I can kind of understand. I mean, they went at each other pretty fucking hard. Both of them did. But Doug talks as if ComicsGate is just monolithic thought, that everybody who's in this ecosystem thinks exactly the same way about everything. And it's not true. I mean, Dark Gift pointed out that, he was still defending Doug at the time. So was Velnid.
I think
Well-read
too.
user.
Yeah.
He still supports and backs Mike S. Miller, even though he's no longer in the fold. And so the idea that we all think alike, I mean, shit, as I said last night in the chat, I'm part of this ComicsGate ecosystem. I may not call myself ComicsGate anymore, but I'm part of this ecosystem, and I certainly don't, fit your typical ComicsGate mold. I don't think like anybody else.
I just want to address a couple of things. No, this isn't all because Doug didn't thank CG. This is, I mean, my video is because Doug straight up lied, and it continues to lie.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I don't care about some fucking award. That's not what my video is about at all.
We don't care about thank yous at some stupid con. That's not.
Yeah, I don't give a shit.
We
I know
give a
what you're
shit about at
talking
all.
about, but that has nothing to do with what I talked about. No. And then also, this Ludacrest, which is an awesome name. DA, you were being civil to Mecca on Well Read though. Yeah, because I'm not like Berserk Guts. I'm not like, just because I don't like somebody, doesn't mean that if we're on stream together, I'm just gonna fucking yell over them.
He was
except for Vikki. Shut up! I'm talking.
He was in Well Read's house. What do you expect him to do? Shit in the middle of his carpet? I mean, I don't.
Yeah, it's called not being a giant asshole.
It's not that hard to be civil.
Yeah.
And it's something that a lot of people seem to have lost control
Jesus,
of.
Vikki, I'm trying to talk here.
I know you are, and I'm purposely
move on to the
interrupting.
next one. I mean the Doug and EVS beef. I don't think that's exactly the whole story there. But I don't know, but I do know Doug clearly tried to gay ops ComicsGate.
Yeah. I think he the idea was to get the bigger YouTubers, the bigger channels in ComicsGate into some sort of, ring of fire with Doug, and they would all stream together and take down Ethan.
Yeah.
Yeah,
just bizarre, weird behavior. And the only reason we went back that far is because Doug has never just flat out admitted to it. It's one thing to just bring up things from the past that somebody's done wrong that's really far in the past. That's just whatever. But when somebody when a lie hasn't gone corrected and the person still hasn't owned up to it, I think that's more than fair to bring it up and prove.
Well, it's even worse than that, isn't it? I mean, I had dozed off a little bit during the review. And I wake up and Doug is on Well Read stream, and I was listening to a fucking broken record. I mean, it was like everything that I had heard, it was nothing new. It was just like ComicsGate did him wrong. Well, no, Ethan and War Campaign went after him. Right? War Campaign's not here anymore, but Doug was more than willing to stream with War Campaign.
Yeah, that's a weird
when they were celebrating the end of ComicsGate together.
Yeah, it's a weird thing to criticize. Oh, you guys had a War Campaign, and then meanwhile, Doug's the last person around the community that has gone on to a War Campaign stream. And this was after ComicsGate had kicked him to the curb. So
this was just last December Jesus, it was only December last year. When that stream took place.
Yeah, but
so that was after everything they had done. That was after everything they'd done, everything they'd said about him. And I guess, and it's true. He wants to hold the group of ComicsGate to some sort of moral standard, while he and the people that are in his circle can just not
do no wrong,
not have any moral standards.
Yeah. Also, Doug on the Well Read stream kept being CG's a cult. You guys are in a cult, and yeah, you guys are in a cult. But that's besides the point. Just shut up and drink the Kool-Aid, faggots. But no, but seriously, he kept doing that. But Doug's biggest problem, it's on that Ricada stream. His biggest issue seems to be that, he flat out says he came to ComicsGate because he wanted people to fight for him, and they were gonna fight the rainbow. And when that didn't happen, that was his fucking big beef. It's on that Ricada stream, and it's so you were cool with the cult that you say existed. You're just mad that they didn't help you fight the rainbow.
Yeah, it was okay so long as they were, on his side, I guess.
Yeah, he had no problem with the groupthink. They just didn't.
It just had to be it was in the wrong direction.
Apparently. According to him. That's the funny thing. The guy has absolutely zero morals. He has not one shred of honesty in him. He is dishonest Doug. So.
Yeah, and as Mr. Dong points out, while he's spouting QAnon conspiracies on his YouTube channel, because it got taken down because he was doing videos like Arizona goes for Trump, Arizona electors vote for Trump, U.S. Supreme Court Justice John Roberts says Trump can't be impeached, which was bullshit. I mean, just all this clickbaity, lying bullshit that was on his channel.
Yeah, well, here's the thing, right? Is like I said in the video, just because I think Doug's content was extremely dishonest, and it was purposefully dishonest.
It was
and it was grifty, and it was it was a, just a means of making money.
He
The
explains that on
sleaziest way possible. I still don't actually agree with his channel being taken down. But like, come on, man. Like,
Right.
you
Yeah,
did it to yourself.
I don't agree that YouTube should have taken down his channel either, right? But if you watch, was it the first Poulter video? Maybe even the second. I don't know. He did 3 different live streams talking about his YouTube channel with Preston Poulter. And I think I only ever watched 1.5 of them. But he pretty much admits that it was all just a grift for the cash. Right? He made $250,000 in a matter of months. In a couple of months on YouTube, right? Then he moved to locals and was making $3,000 a month, which isn't even what he was making per day on YouTube.
Yeah.
And he does admit that he was literally just doing it for the money.
Which is like, I
Which
mean,
is fine.
yeah.
Rod your
I'll call
hustle.
you out if you're lying just for the money.
Yeah, I'm cool.
You're like Tug. But
Whatever your hustle, man, go for it.
yeah, I mean, he is kind of just Tug to Naple. I think the chat nailed it on that one.
When your hustle bites you in the ass, just own it. Not it must be some mysterious viewers. There's viewers who are striking my channel.
Like, why did you change the story? Like, he was straight up like, I think the first times it was just the algorithm, like it didn't do well, and now it's like, no, like YouTube can't know unless someone reports it. Like, what?
It doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
Like
no, they can know. It's YouTube. They're big tech. They have means of doing it, you fucking idiot.
Yeah. Tomorrow there's going to be a transcript of this stream, and that AI, the AI is going to make it, and a separate AI is going to scrub it for content to see if we, whatever that they're looking for, whether it's the political content that they keep that they've blatantly said that they've been very open and honest, even though I disagree with it. They said this is what we're doing.
Yeah, I think it's fucked up, but
yeah, it's
you act all big surprised. You start lying to your fans about why it's happening. It's got to be some person. You let fucking the absolute idiot, Comic Book Hut or Patriot Hut or whatever he calls himself. You let him do it, and like you let him go on and like mislead people. And like, here's the thing: is he does let Comic Book Hut do that. They talk. I was in a group DM with them at one point.
Yeah,
and they talk.
It's not like Doug doesn't know that the Comic Book Hut has done like 2 or 3 videos about how Ethan.
It's like 5 videos now. It's like 5 videos now.
Yeah, he knows. And last night he on Well Red's stream, he said he didn't have anything to do with it. Well,
yeah, he may not, but he could tell to Patriot Hut like, yo, you're getting this shit wrong, but he doesn't.
Yeah, no, the shadow was Zombie Nomicon, but Concerned Citizen may very well be Doug TenNapel for all we know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's another thing. The Comic Book Hut. This same guy. I should do a video just like going in on him. This same guy used to have just all these videos just saying the most outlandish shit about like Ethan and other people in ComicsGate. And his source he called The Shadow. The Shadow was Zombie Nomicon, the disgraced Australian scam artist.
Yeah.
Who just has like all these crazy conspiracies that he makes up. And I know that was the source because Zombie Nomicon would try to get people like me and Vikki to go like
to say the same shit.
Yeah, and we were like, this shit is crazy. And then the very next day we'd see fucking Comic Book Hut do a video with those same exact talking points that are just not based in fact.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just
and
disgraceful.
Now he has a news source, which is Concerned Citizen.
Yeah, it's just disgraceful. Like, and this guy, Comic Book Hut, like his source has been disgraced, and like he still has the nerve to act like other people are dumb. Like I said, the guy can't even fucking screen record. He's had 3 fucking years to figure it out. 3 fucking years.
Comic Book Hut blocked me when I pointed out that his source was, was some dude that scammed Australians out of millions of dollars.
Who is a crazy conspiracy theorist. Like I said, he would try to get me or like Vikki or I believe even Mecca to like go on our YouTube channels and just say like crazy shit. And it was like we wouldn't. Even Mecca, the fucking idiot, wouldn't.
Yeah.
And then the very next day, Comic Book Hut would be making a video saying the most outlandish shit that came from fucking Zombie. Like this guy, he should be embarrassed. He really should be. He should be embarrassed for himself, for his family. But he's not.
Yeah,
I don't know.
if you want to go torture yourself with the Comic Book Hut's videos, his comic content is on his Patriot Hut channel, and his political videos are on his Comic Book Hut channel.
Yeah.
Don't ask why. I'm sure it had something, he was trying to get subscribers, and now he's kind of stuck in this weird place.
Yeah. I just wish his parents would limit his internet access or something. The guy's the only I've told this joke before, but the guy's the only person to make the New York accent sound more autistic. Like it is crazy. The guy is just, I don't know. Like the fact that he's still out there making these videos that are just so not based in fact. Nobody cares about your fucking gut feeling at all. It means absolutely nothing, especially when like it turns out your source for all your big videos was this disgraced Australian and none of it was based in fact, and you still haven't retracted them. Like that's the thing, is I could have some respect for the Hut if he retract, like, he'd maybe not even retract them, take down the videos, but no, he can't because then it would be a sign that he's a fucking idiot, because he is a fucking idiot.
Well, there is this whole segment, and they're still part of the ecosystem too, who hate Ethan so incredibly much that they can't they just don't see straight, and they'll accept anything, they'll believe anything that somebody says about Ethan or about ComicsGate, because we are a monolith, people, just in case you didn't know. What one does, we're all responsible for, which is just ridiculous. And that's still part of the group that hangs around the Comic Book Hut. You still have got Captain Cummings going after Matt Barr in the comments of Comic Book Hut videos.
Yeah, I mean, you
No
have
reason.
his fans are like Bean from PA,
Larry Holder,
and none of these people, by the way, have a rational thought in their head.
When it comes to ComicsGate, no, they don't.
Yeah, they're
not
just
when it
like,
comes to any aspect of ComicsGate.
Yeah.
And last night, Dark. When you're watching a stream and the man who gave us Comics Fence is the only one giving any pushback to Doug TenNapel was pretty freaking crazy.
Oh man, I wish we had time to clip that stream. We just had so much content that we
God,
didn't have
I
the
just
time.
don't know how we could. I mean, there was Doug just repeated
No,
himself.
there's this one point during that stream where they're like, all kind of disagreeing. Everybody's being respectful about it though. They're just happy like Doug's talking to them, he agreed to come on. It was nice, you know what I mean? Up until the Doug's like, oh, like ComicsGate did it, ComicsGate that, blah, blah, blah. And then they're not really accepting it. They're pushing back in like ways that make sense. And Doug just goes to Dark Gift, who like just made a really good point. He just goes, do you have a family? Like, when you're done off the internet, do you have kids that you take to school? Like, it was so condescending.
It was so
out of nowhere.
For
Like
no
a giant
fucking reason.
asshole.
Yeah.
The type of garbage. Like they're having like a nice conversation, they're disagreeing, and like Doug's just so upset that people just aren't buying his shit. And he has to take it to that level because that's the type of dishonest behavior that Doug it just seeps out of him.
Yeah. The over and under of Zach attending the CG Con, I don't think he will, only because he doesn't do well with crowds, apparently.
God, I hope this isn't a troll account. And I really hope. I mean, it is, but man, that would be great if
That would have been
perfection.
awesome if it was perfection.
Man, that guy is a hoot. That is a guy who has done some. He's both a troll and a guy that spurgs out. Sometimes it's fucking hilarious because I've seen him troll, and then other times, like when Nick Rekieta disgraced him, that was fucking great. Like he just fucking made the guy look like a total fool.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Real quick, I want to circle back to Liam before we head out. He did a stream today, which was Liam's latest I Am Defeated stream. Seems Liam doesn't feel that he's getting the support that he deserves and he should be getting because he works so hard. And all the big channels and all the big names are all against him and purposely working to keep him from succeeding. Okay. There was actually quite a bit to unpack in this stream, but we're just going to go with Wonder Island's production is going to be halted for a month so he can find more doohickeys and doodads to include with the campaign, was one announcement. Another announcement is this is just taking up that is just taking up way too much of his time, and he is not able to spend enough time with his family because he is streaming twice a day. You delete them. Your channel will not grow and nobody will know to come to your fucking channel if you delete every goddamn live stream. Except for the ones where Mango-chan is drawing. So the book is going to be delayed by another month, and it has only been on Indiegogo for 2 weeks. 10 days. Almost 2 weeks.
Yeah, and also Mr. Vega, thank you for joining. Subscribe and share the stream. But we did. But
feel watch it on replay.
Yeah, watch it on replay. We gave our thoughts and it was great.
And we will any clips that we play here, the clips go up on my channel. The Doug video is going to go up on Dean's channel. Thank you, Nasser. $2 super chat. Here is a new picture of Liam's dead dog. Enjoy. That was a little overstepping, but thank you for the $2, Nasser.
Luckily, there was no picture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So everybody is to blame except for Liam. The fact that he doesn't have the support base that he enjoyed early on during Xenotype has absolutely nothing to do with his crazy fucking behavior with ideas like I want to be mock crucified to a tree in my backyard and live stream it for 3 days as a launch party for my child's book.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Hello, Smug Pug.
Boo, Smug Pug. Boo this man. Boo. Smug, are you just tuning in, you giant piece of shit? We're just about to end. We had a long one for once, actually. I mean, Thomas is also just tuning in, but I like him. I don't like you, Smug. You giant piece of shit.
And you were featured in both of my video clips today, Smug, and you blew it.
Yeah.
That's what you get.
Good night, Nasser.
Good night, Nasser.
Yeah. What an asshole. What a asshole this guy is. Salute me for my service. Oh, yeah, that was fucking... So, yeah, I guess the final thing we'll talk about is during that well-read stream that Doug TenNapel went on last night, eventually, like, Mecca comes on, and then I'm also on. Doug has left by this point. I really have no interest in talking to Doug. So that's why I hopped on, is he was gone. But our review of Lone Star 2 is coming next week. I look forward to that. I will definitely watch that. But like Mecca is on and Saggy comes on to confront him because it turns out Mecca McCheese, he had two people that one of them was his friends. He's actually my girlfriend. His name is Hans. We are a great couple. Was apparently sent by Mecca to run gay ops and spy and befriend people. Hans didn't do so. He
pretty much told people as soon as it was as soon as Mecca said it, that this is what happened, and he didn't want anything else to do with him.
Yeah. So anyways, Saggy or Ray goes on and confronts Mecca over it, and it was pretty great.
He pretended not to know who she was.
Yeah, contradicted himself like 5 ways to Sunday or some shit, however it goes, that saying. And it was just so funny because she did something I don't agree with, but it did piss him off. She accused him of being stolen valor, and he is like, fucking prove it, and then he starts demanding that she salute him for his service, which
Excuse me just a second, Lunga.
Sure.
This does go back that year or so ago.
Yeah.
Just so you know, this is not.
This isn't new.
This isn't. Mecca didn't just send Hans. This was quite a while ago.
Yeah.
This was last year.
And then another veteran that was on the stream like hops back on and just like tells Mecca that he's like a low-life piece of shit. And like, how dare he demand she salute him? Which is also like weird because like my understanding is that like it's kind of disrespectful to have a civilian salute you. Yeah. But you know, I don't know. Mecca is a giant fucking weirdo. So
civilians don't salute. Saluting's strictly for military personnel.
Yeah, giant weirdo.
Total giant weirdo. And then, but on the upside, it totally triggered the fuck out of Testify. That Well Read allowed Mecca on his stream was so worth watching.
All in all, it was a great experience.
I'm glad I stayed up all fucking night.
Yeah,
watch it.
Like probably the one good well-read stream out of like the last 5.
And Smug Pug does timestamp them all, so you can go back and just pick and choose which portions you want to watch if you don't want to watch the whole thing. But take the time, watch.
No. Pay attention to those timestamps.
Skip the review and just start after.
Yeah. So, anyways, I think that's it for this stream. To anybody that may have missed the Doug video, the Doug expose, it'll be on my channel.
Link in the
First,
description.
yeah, first thing in the morning. So go ahead and check that out. And I'm actually glad we had a lot of content this week.
Me too.
Yeah.
I mean, it was Micah and Liam mostly, but they did deliver this week. It was like the olden days.
Yeah, it was actually it was really good to listen to. Anyways, thank you all so much. Make sure to head to my channel after this and subscribe. Also do the same for Vikki. She just passed 500 and I'm just
so
almost
very
at
much, everybody.
Hey, shut up. Sorry. I'm sorry.
I'm telling you to shut up, young man.
I'm almost at 600. Help us raise both of us up and
or better yet, just go unsubscribe to Dean and go.
Anyways, fuck that. So yeah, go ahead and share this stream, like it, subscribe to this channel as well. Tell your friends, and we will see you all in the next stream.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, guys.